going? Just welcome to the channel. First of all, wanted to start first course vlog off here. We're out at Naples Heritage Golf Club down in Florida. Playing 18 holes. We'll get the front 9 here today, and then we'll come out with the back 9. Started off with a nice kind of smooth 3-iron down the middle. Probably one of the better shots I hit today. It's just short-ish par 4 that does not require a driver. A little low on the face with the wedge from about 120 yards or so, but we'll take a green in regulation after a fairway. Putt was pretty good. The couple days before, the putting was horrible. No 3 putts on the front 9. Or real 3 putts, so this was off to a good start. Maybe a little bit of a nervy 4-footer, but we made it. All right, on to the second. It's a longer par 4. It's given me plenty of trouble in the past. Definitely requires a good drive. There's trouble up the left, space on the right, but I really caught this one good. Best drive of the day, probably. Up here in the fairway, only had about 100 and maybe 15 yards in, so it was another wedge again. I often find it difficult to get close to the hole here, but nice little maybe fade-ish type shot, knocking it down a little bit or de-lofting the wedge. Had a long putt here though. Ends up being on a pretty good line, just a little bit short. So pretty pleased with that. Again, a couple of days before it was 3 putts left and right. Well, that's no good, but we'll call it vacation golf in the first golf vlog, and we'll just kind of reset there. All right, par 5 now. Definitely a 3-shot hole. Maybe if you get it up the right side on this dog leg, you can get very close to the green in 2. But I ended up pulling this one a little bit, so it goes off to the left there. We're well up in the fairway, but a good 340 some yards to the pin. I've got 3-iron again, kind of that shot on the first hole off the tee, and I caught it great. I probably couldn't get there. I carry a 2-iron, but more use it off the tee, and no 3 wood, but that'd probably be the number. Pin was on the left, and I like hitting little bump and run shots here, but you'll see where it ends up. Just past the hole, we've got an uphill putt. We're just really happy with where this ended up, for birdie, and close. I don't know if it hit the lip, but just a little tap in par there. So 3-ish pars in a row. Feeling pretty good about it. Longer par 3 here, probably about 195 yards to the pin today. I had a 5-iron in hand. I caught this one really good. It was all over it, just like a little draw that ended up holding. It was just right on top of the pin. Ended up being probably like 20 feet past the hole and then on a ridge. Thought it maybe would have been nice for it to come back, but totally a reasonable putt. Probably about 2 feet of break, and it just ends up being probably about a 3 or 4 rolls short. So another comfy par. Par 4 fifth. There's some space on the right, but it's a hazard, and I was there 2 days ago, and this is the start of the bad drives for today. So that was right and going right fast. Ended up not being able to find the ball. No surprise if you look over there. Or maybe we did find it and it was just totally unplayable. So took a drop. Had about 165 yards, and ended up just trying to hit like a little de-lofted 8-iron to kind of punch it up there. Not a great shot. Ended up being, a good 10, 15 yards short of the pin, and required a pretty good pitch, which we ended up pulling off here. It ends up pretty close to the hole, probably about 7 feet or so. Definitely giving myself a chance to make a bogey with that penalty shot. Um,
There you go.
and there you go, drained it too. So that worked out nicely. Very gettable par 4/6 here. You got to go over water. Hit driver here a lot, but you just sort of said, let's pull out the 2-iron, get it into play, get it in the fairway, and give ourselves a chance. It's only going to be 110 yards up there once, even with a 2-iron, so there's not a ton of advantage to hitting driver. Pin was off on the left. We were kind of in the right center of the fairway, again, like 110 yards or so. Had a 51-degree wedge. Like to play them, like to de-loft the wedges, play them a little bit lower. This was an okay shot, kind of where I wanted to be. It just came back way more than I would have hoped or probably expected. So we had a lengthy birdie putt here. Again, birdie putt, so we'll take it. But had been leaving these woefully short, and this one actually ends up being pretty good. It hits the lip. So just a little tap in. Again, another tap in par. For the first round of 2021, after some travel, not a bad start through 6 holes. Par 3 7th hole, probably about 185 yards to the pin. I had a 6-iron. The pin was tucked up on the right side, and you'll see there's maybe some bunkers and water right. It's a really nice hole, but it's just really safe to play it out to the left, and with the mid to high irons, that kind of like power draw certainly comes into play, and so we ended up with a 50-footer here, so probably the right distance, about pin high, but just left. Didn't really take on the hole. Missed the tap in there, but ended up with about a 3-footer for par, and made it. All right, par 5, 8th hole, dogleg right. Requires a pretty decent shot over water. There's a bunker out there about 290 yards that you kind of aim at. This a little off balance there, went slightly right, but totally safe, and in the rough here, and just right about around the corner. Had a 3-iron here, kind of going for it again, maybe just to get up close to the green, probably too far to get there, but caught it low and hooky, and it went into an unplayable position. So had to take a drop here, playing 4. And obviously you can see there's a bunker in front. There was probably, I don't know, 10 paces or so after the bunker, and I just duffed it right into the trap. Compounding problems. And the bunker shot here was really no better. Left it significantly short, kind of just hacked at it more than splashed it out, and left myself with a lot to putt there for for bogey. Ended up 2-putting for a 7. On to the 9th, still trying to take the driver out, still hitting slicey cuts. This one's all right though, ends up kind of on a side hill with about maybe 100 yards or so. I had 56 in hand. Knew it would come out just a little bit to my left, and actually pretty good shot. I thought this was really kind of on top of the pin. Ended up, with about, I don't know, let's say like 15 feet or so. So great chance at birdie after the mistakes on the previous hole, but just a bad putt. The read was probably no good, and, end up tapping in for par, and that's great. And so we're on to the back 9 after that. We'll post that video coming up and more in the future.